What is up, everybody? It is Mattalk Live. That is right, folks. John and I, we sat down like a month ago and we discussed it and we decided we were going to do a lot. Not really. We didn't have time to record yesterday due to my scheduling. And I was like, well, let's just do it live. Let's do it live since we're going to record in the evening anyway. And the episode's supposed to drop today. So we're here to discuss this episode. And there's similarities to The Judge in this one, kind of. Not really, but I can't wait to talk about it. John, how are you this fine Monday evening?
You know what? I'm good. And I like the idea of trying this live because, ladies and gentlemen, we've been very honest. We want to do a live show. And while this isn't exactly the live show we thought about doing, this is a good little test run, if you will. And so we're excited to be here. We hope everything goes well. We think it will. And we're excited. So we got a lot to talk about. Should we go ahead and jump on into it?
John, I would love to go right into it. Well, first, John, before we go right into it, man,
Okay.
We like to banter at the beginning of this.
Sure.
Man, you're always just trying to get straight to business. John's like, you got to do business. But I've been watching Columbo, and I haven't talked about it on here yet.
Yeah.
I want to say that is a darn good show.
Really? You're really enjoying it?
I am really enjoying it. I didn't realize that Columbo every episode was feature length. I mean, I'm sure when they came out, with to be continued or whatever. But on Amazon, where I'm watching it, everything is feature length. So every episode is an hour and a half. And yeah, man, I like it a lot.
What do you like about it? Do you think, number one, do you think Peter Falk brings a certain gravitas to the role or what?
Yes, I like Peter Falk. I like how he messes with the people, because he knows ahead of time who did it. Like he knows. Mm-hmm. But he likes to mess with them. And obviously you got to wait till you have proof. So he's also, digging for proof. And I just love it when he annoys them with questions and so forth. But yeah, it's a fun little show.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Jason. I'm not watching anything. I'm still making my way through Better Call Saul. But I really haven't. I have geeky shows I need to watch that I'm behind on. But I've kind of been in this kick of watching movies. As you very well know, I watched Cocaine Bear a few weeks ago, and I don't know, I didn't dig it as much as you did, but then I started on this kick of watching 70s disaster movies, like The Towering Inferno, The Poseidon Adventure, Black Sunday, or the one I watched the other night, which was 2 Minute Warning, which was an interesting film with Charlton Heston, Jack Klugman, Jenna Rollins, Beau Bridges, a very young Beau Bridges, and John Cassavetes. And it's interesting. It's about stopping a sniper at the Super Bowl.
Nice.
It was all right. It was okay. There were some things that I kind of didn't dig, but there were some things I dug about the film. So I will give it a 2 thumbs up, as Siskel and Ebert used to say.
Well, everybody, as we get into it, we were discussing the season 4 episode titled The Witness.
Yes, we are. And, the original air date for this episode is January 2nd of 1990. So we're finally in the 90s, Jason. We are finally here. The decade of... Yes. What was the 90s the decade of? I don't know.
Us. Me.
Us? Was it? Because I know the 80s was the decade of greed.
I mean, the 80s produced me, but I really, shined in the 90s.
Okay.
That was my era. The 90s is responsible for Sinbad. There's nothing more 90s than Sinbad. I've been saying that for years.
Oh, no. I think they're hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Mark Curry is pretty 90s, too.
Mark Curry is pretty 90s there. I'm just saying. So,
I love that show.
Yeah, I did,
too. Can we get that reboot, folks? Can we get that reboot? Hang with Mr. Cooper. I'll be your fan. I'll be number 1.
There you go. Let's get into our opening statements. All right, Jason, let's start talking about some guest stars. The first one is our antagonist to the episode, Caitlin Clark. She will be playing the role of Sandra Townsend. Now, Caitlin Clark has a gigantic resume when it comes to being on the stage. She was in 4 or 5 Broadway plays, about 8 off-Broadway plays. She did a lot of regional theater. So she is probably a little more on the side of a stage performer rather than a film or TV performer. But she does actually have a few roles. She was Simone in Crocodile Dundee. Valerian in Dragon Slayer, Jesse Moore on The Equalizer, and Roberta Ressler on The Cosby Mysteries.
Anyway, moving on.
I hope she didn't eat the pudding.
Oh,
Too
this is
soon.
a family show, John.
Okay. Anyways, so Caitlin Clark. Any other anything you want to mention about Caitlin and any of those movies that she was in or TV shows?
Nope.
I know you'll want to say something about this next guest star, though. I know, because I think there's a few of these are your favorites. Michael Mantell is our next guest star. He will be playing the role of Jimmy Newton, but you may also know him as Stewart in the movie Secretary, the deputy mayor in A Mighty Wind, which is a fantastic movie, by the way, Senator Pullman in the movie The Ides of March, Dr. Stan in Ocean's 13, and Dr. Meisenbach in Thank You for Smoking, and a ton of other credits to this man's name. Jason, any of those that you would like to comment on? Have you ever seen A Mighty Wind?
I have not. I wouldn't mind seeing A Mighty Wind. I keep seeing that popping up when I pick up movies from various sources, and that is one that I've been told to check out. I need to check it out. But yeah, he's been in quite a few things. Like he popped in an episode of Angel and How I Met Your Mother, Grey's Anatomy. He's still a working actor.
Yeah, still is. So my question is, have you seen any of the Christopher Guest mockumentaries, like, Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, Waiting for Guffman?
I need to. I've heard great things about Best in Show.
I think you would really, really like those. Those films. They're very, very well done.
Well, if John Orlando likes it, then it must be good.
There you go. And our last guest star is a gentleman by the name of Patrick St. Esprit, and he would be playing the role of Rick Allen. You may know him, Jason, as Commander Robert Hicks on SWAT, LAPD Lieutenant Roger Bates in NCIS Los Angeles, Major Wysishin on Narcos, Governor John Manserve in I Am Wrath, Elliot Oswald on Sons of Anarchy, and Leo Hanadarko on Saving Grace, and another guy that still is working and has tons and tons of credits to his name.
NCIS is just a series I have not been able to get into.
Yeah, same here.
I've tried. It's like it's got the formula that I like, and that kind of TV. It just for some reason it just doesn't pull me in. I don't know if it's the characters or what. I really like the NCIS. I mean, technically it was, but Hawaii Five-0 when they did that reboot a while back, I like that. So I mean, I guess I liked one NCIS series.
Well, I just like the fact that Patrick was in the wonderful movie that was made in our hometown, I Am Wrath.
I Am Wrath. Never heard of it.
What? You're serious? Are you serious? Dude, it's...
I'm always serious.
Oh. Excuse me. Siri thought I was referring to her. No, I am not. I said the word serious.
Oh, anyway. That John Travolta movie?
Yeah, the John Travolta movie that was filmed here in town?
No.
Oh, let me just tell you. The best part of that movie is Christopher Maloney.
I like Christopher Maloney, but guys, I'm sorry. John Travolta is one of the most overrated actors in Hollywood. He's had like 5 good movies, and that's it.
Whoa. You talking about Hot Take Orlando? You're Hot Take
I'm
Taylor.
Gonna give him what was it, the Dance Fever one, and we'll give him the sequel, Staying Alive, even though I heard that's not very good. Pulp Fiction, Face Off, and I mean, Look Who's Talking. What other? I mean, Swordfish. I guess that's one, but I mean, what else is he in that's good?
First of all, let me just say, Saturday Night Fever is a movie that everybody loves the positives and totally ignores the negatives. And when I saw that movie not too long ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, I was blown away by the racism and rapiness of the movie. I was like, whoa, I thought this was all about dancing. And that's what everybody remembers is the dancing part. They don't remember all the other shady stuff that was going on in that movie.
I need to check that one out because it is, one of those quote unquote classics, but I'm not a fan of Travolta. Like, I don't get it. And he's not in a lot of good stuff. I'm sorry. And I'm the guy who likes everything.
Did you not like his performance in The Punisher? with
my dad
Thomas
loves
Jane.
that movie. My dad has seen that movie more times than anything else. He loves it. I mean, I don't mind that movie either, but yeah, he loves it. But I'm not watching it for John Travolta.
Oh, well, no. Well, that's all the guest stars that we have here. But real quickly, before we begin, and then we talk about the plot real quick, you have always kind of jokingly talked about how Nancy Stafford's not in a lot of the episodes in season 4. I found this while doing some research. Nancy Stafford is absent from 11 out of the 24 episodes for season 4.
Does it say why? I tried to find out why, because what this show felt like, this episode, The Witness, it felt like a backdoor pilot. Like they were pitching the network the Nancy Thompson spinoff.
Nancy Thompson? You mean Nancy Stafford, Michelle Thomas? Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
That's right.
That's how it felt. Because if it was made today, that's what a backdoor pilot would look like. Shifted the focus to her, but I couldn't find anything like anywhere about them, potentially thinking about doing a Michelle Thomas spinoff.
Well, here's somebody that has less screen time than Nancy Stafford, and that would be Julie Summers, who plays Julie March, that is. She was absent 17 out of 24 episodes of season 4. No, it does not. It does not say why on Wikipedia. I don't even know if they give you links to them. Hold on.
I mean, they don't leave the show. They're around for quite a few more seasons after this one. So
right.
I didn't understand the absence. And then Tyler Hudson's randomly in this episode. 2
times. He's in 2 episodes in season 4.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, did they not know he was leaving the show when they started filming the season? Because I know this was supposed to be one of the first episodes, or at least it was one of the first ones they shot.
Yes, this was one of the first ones that they shot, but they aired it in a different order, which is why there's all Conrad. And then there's these random Tyler episodes. By the way, Conrad absent 7 times out of 24.
Well, that makes sense. He's new. They had to build in the story, but he's been in. I mean, it's just random that, like did they not know Kenny Holiday wasn't returning?
I have no idea. No clue.
That's weird that he would film 2 episodes in the beginning and then just be gone.
Yeah.
And unless maybe have somebody there to replace them.
Do you think maybe they filmed them at the end of the previous season?
That's what I'm thinking.
You know what I mean?
Maybe they didn't know what was happening with him, so they filmed a few extras just so they had him in the can.
Yeah. All right. Jason, I have a question for you. It's a very important question. It's a question I ask you every episode. Are you ready to give an opinion? Your opinion and solely your opinion. So help you?
Nope. Everybody, good night. The episode's over.
What?
Let's testify. Woohoo!
It's time to testify. Woo! Okay. You almost had me on that one. The plot. Michelle takes the reins on a case because Ben is absent, but the case's witness is a former law school pal of Michelle who's hiding a dirty secret.
This episode did have the writing I've enjoyed in season 4, where we get to spend time with the people involved with the case leading into the show. And I dig that. But man, this prosecutor is a bitch. Man, she's a lawyer, right? Oh, she's awful.
Yeah, she's terrible.
Awful. You would think, like, we watched The Judge, the episode back in season 1 that everybody loves. Still don't completely understand why everybody loves that episode so much. I think it's because Dick Van Dyke is in it, but it has plot holes out the yin-yang. But in this one, like, she's better than the judge was, but you would think that, being actively involved in, either prosecuting, defending, or judging crimes, you would be better at committing them.
Okay, I thought you were going to go a different route because you know what? I'm going to fast forward to about midway of the episode. The thing I found that was so appalling that I literally yelled out at my TV, "You got to be kidding me," is the way in which Sandra treats that rape victim on the stand. Like, I was like, look, I don't want to be that guy, but I would think that as a woman, that you would extend some courtesy to another woman that has had an awful, awful, awful thing happen to her. But no, she was like a shark. She smelled blood in the water, just went after her. And I'm like, woman, what are you doing?
And she's not, oh my God, she's an awful person. But I'm just saying, like, if you're involved in it, if you do it every day, you see what people get caught up on. you wouldn't make stupid mistakes like taking a coat to the wash or the dry cleaners. What? Burn it. Sorry, John. Continue.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There was some plot holes here. All right, let's start off. The opening scene is someone undressing but then slipping into sexy clothes, which for listeners that listened to our previous episode where we did reviews, just to be warned, there's some occasional sexual content. So says that one person on this list. I'm sure this one would make their self go, oh my. But nonetheless, we go to the courthouse. There's a trial going on, and a cop is Excuse me?
It's not Matlock.
It's not Matlock. No, it's not. A cop is testifying about a robbery, and we're introduced to Sandra Townsend. And she's cross-examining the cop. And she's talking about how, for some odd reason, which I found like this to be ridiculous too, that her client, Ethan Summers, could not have possibly ran the way that the cop explained it on the map because the empty parking lot that he cut through is now a parking garage. Like, I just like, did the cop never go downtown after the arrest? And no, now it's like I wanted to know more about this. Like, how did this slip up happen? So, nonetheless, the DA, at the end of the trial, we're outside the courtroom. The DA, I think his name was John, he asked Sandra out. And originally she says, no. But then she sees a dude who we later find out is Rick Allen hanging out on the street. And so Sandra changes her mind. So we cut to a sleazy bar. I believe it was called The Revolution. What a name for a bar, by the way. Time out. Jason, if I said to you that I owned a bar called The Revolution, would it look anything like that bar that was in this episode?
I mean, in the 80s, maybe.
Well, we're in the 90s now. Look, I had an issue with that. I was like, The Revolution sounds like an industrial nightclub, like where Nine Inch Nails performed once before they were famous, like that, like a lot of steel and Mad Max like motifs, and not just any old regular bar that you would walk into. Like it could have been like Nasty Pete's Bar and Grill, and I would have been better with the name than just The Revolution. That just
were expecting more like the Blue Oyster Bar from the Police Academy movies?
No, I did not say that. I did not say that at all. Anywho, so we cut to a bar where a customer can't seem to get a drink, and he's making a big spectacle of himself, so Rick tosses him out. Sandra rolls in wearing a wig that was so obvious that she was wearing a wig. I was like, no one's fooled by that. Jason, I know, you're no longer, dating and whatnot, but if you were dating a woman or went out to a date and she had a wig on, would that weird you out?
Yes, I am fianced. It's like I'm still with somebody, but yeah, we're not like dating. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, well, no, but you get what I mean. Like you're not a single guy anymore, right?
Right.
So I think I would be weirded out too. If a woman showed up, not like, and I'm not saying like, they had a valid excuse. Oh, I just got done, like cancer treatment. I lost my hair. Okay. Yeah. But if you already had the hair and then you put a wig on top of it and then you went on the date, that would be weird. That would be so weird. That would creep me out.
Yeah, well, we find out why later.
Oh, well, we do. Anyways. So, Sandra dumps Rick, and he doesn't take the dumping very well because,
It's a poor Rick.
Yeah, he doesn't take it too well. But then he, of course, does the scumbag thing going, oh, yeah, I got these Polaroids of you. I got nudie pics. So, what are you going to do now? Nonetheless, he threatens to show them to the law firm that Sandra works at. And so Sandra throws a drink in Rick's face. And we cut to a scene where the original customer, who we find out is Jimmy, by the way, Jimmy Newton. Jimmy Newton is sleeping in his car. First of all, I think you'd still be arrested for DUI if you're sleeping in the front seat of your car. I know it's 1990, but I still think those laws are on the books.
And I think if the keys are in the ignition, you would.
I don't know, because I've heard stories of just being in the car.
Well, if you guys know, let me know in the comments. You can just comment right below, or you can email us if you're listening to the audio later, benmattalk@gmail.com.
Yeah, there you go. And so far, do we have any comments? No, we don't have any comments just yet, people. Let's get on that.
People watching, but they're just quiet today.
Okay. There's lots of people watching. That's great. Hey, real quickly, I'm going to give a shout out there to Tim and the fine folks at Shogun Force. They gave me this cup when I first met them a few months ago at PowerCon. So Tim, hope all is well. Thanks for the cup. It's helping to keep me quenched.
Nice. I didn't think to grab a drink.
Well, dude, my allergies are, because it's now 60 degrees outside. My allergies are a mess today.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get back to it. All right. So, Sandra goes home and she gets on the phone with Rick and says, "Hey, look, how about I'm sorry about it all. How about I stop by after you get done work? I'll pick you up. You come over here. Bada boom, bada bang. You know the story."
Mm-hmm. Charmer, that Rick.
Rick's a charmer. Yeah, he is. Mm-hmm. When he doesn't have naked photos of yourself, in his pocket. Or I guess nowadays it'd be on his phone.
Yeah.
So Rick is waiting outside, and Sandra arrives, and she's wearing a fur coat, which I was like, it's Atlanta. It can't be that cold to necessitate a full suit and a fur coat. It's not Ohio or Minnesota. But anyways, she's there with her fur coat. She pulls out a gun. She shoots Rick. And she tries to take the photos. I don't think that I couldn't remember, and I don't recall. Did she get all of them, or did she get some of them, or did she get none of them, Jason? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Well, nonetheless, then she takes the gun, puts it on Jimmy, and then an employee who we later find out is a business partner, Michael, he comes out and almost catches Sandra in the act. But she scurries away, and then the next scene we see, she's on her car phone making a $38 2-minute phone call to the police to say she witnessed a crime.
Couldn't that guy have identified that it wasn't Jimmy sleeping in the car? Like, obviously he saw the killer run away.
Yeah, you would think that, but Michael is a little scumbag too, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But Ben is awakened by Mr. Newton, Jimmy's dad, banging on his door. And I know you thoroughly enjoyed this scene, didn't you?
I did. It's like one of the few times Ben's in this episode. But the thing I took away from this is how connected people were back in the day, that Ben knew who his paperboy was.
I know. Absolutely. I wouldn't know who the paperboy was back when I used to get a newspaper. It was just on my front stoop. I opened my apartment door. There it was. Woo-hoo. So, well, anyways, Jimmy is accused of the murder. And Jimmy's dad's like, "Look, my son is lots of things. He's a drunk. He may be immature, but he's not a killer." So Ben says, "Well, I'll talk to Jimmy, but I don't know if I can take the case because I'm going off to California." California love. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, folks. For new listeners or viewers, we sing a lot on this podcast, do we not?
We do.
We do. But anyways, Michelle can take care of the case. I love how he gave it to Michelle, and then Jimmy's dad was kind of, really? Here's my question. What is Michelle's cost? Is she 100 G's as well?
I'm sure she is.
I don't know. She's the associate. She's the junior partner.
Oh, Ben's charging 100 G's because I'm sure he gets a cut of that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Because as we all know, cash rolls everything around Matlock. Anyways, so Sandra arrives at police headquarters, okay? And so Bob Brooks decides to chat with her. If you ask me, it seems that Bob Brooks was a little bit very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very eager to speak to Sandra, if you know what I'm saying. Ooh, a pretty lady. Let me go help her.
Not very friendly, pretty lady.
No. Ice Queen, baby. Ice Queen.
Man, you want to change up and have a double life, man. Just become nicer. Don't become meaner and kill people. Just become nicer.
Just become nicer. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. And put your hair down and be nicer.
There's nothing likable about that woman in this episode.
Well, she's pretty. That's about all she's got going for her.
I don't know, man. That scowl just completely turns me off.
Are you sure? You're not
Yeah.
sure about that, are you?
Wow, I'm 100% sure. She's like,
All
I
right,
could never
well,
date a woman. It was just like,
well, I don't think I would last long either dating Sandra Townsend. Something tells me she has expensive taste too. Anyways, so Bob Brooks is with Sandra as Ben chats with Jimmy. I did like this. I like the double shot. They've done this before in other episodes where they're talking, and in fact, I think it was on the Scrooge was the last example of it, where they're talking to one particular group or one particular person in the interview room, and then they're doing the other one, and they kind of cut back and forth. I really like that. That adds a little something to the presentation.
we need to try get Nancy Stafford back on here.
That was random.
I want to ask about like the random episodes with Kenny in the middle of the season, like why put them in the middle, and two, find out if there was ever talks of a Michelle Thomas
spinoff.
And there should be. There should be right now, folks.
Jason, hold on. Let me just real quickly drop this knowledge on you as I'm looking it up real quick. I have it pulled up here. You know how many people watched this episode?
How many, John?
27.8 million viewers.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. As you go through season 4, it's consistently in the mid 20s to upper 20s. Oh, I take a quick look. There's one that's the last 2 of the season, 19.9 and 19 million.
That's crazy. That's good numbers. I mean, that's how much the Kansas City Chiefs games are getting right now with Taylor Swift there.
Yes. Wow, you've brought some sports news to the podcast.
I just happened to hear overhear somebody talking about it.
All right, let's get back to it here. Ben does indeed take the case, and Michelle is shocked, and Ben has to coach her up a little bit. Oh, you can do this, Michelle. You're a good lawyer. You can do this. I got to go to Cali.
Yeah, you're ready. You're ready, yeah. Michelle.
That's right. You're ready to step into the big leagues. Isn't this didn't we already have an episode in LA? So technically that means then that means technically Ben's going back to Cali.
Unless this was the episode that he went to Cali and they were supposed to air back to back.
No, there was another one where he was in Los Angeles. It was the one with the Psycho House.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Bates Motel. I forget the name of it. I should know this, but I can look real quick. Anyways, you know what? Nobody wants to see me scroll up and down. Let's get on with this show, shall we?
Yes.
Michelle runs into Sandra, and it's revealed that they are old college pals or law school pals. And so they're going to get together, blah, 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 blah. And then it's my favorite shot that anybody that listens to this podcast knows how much I detest this shot. It is the traffic of Atlanta, Georgia that has never, ever looked like that, ever in the history of the city. I think maybe the only time that has been that less of traffic was when Sherman was setting fire to the place. But anyways, so Michelle and Tyler are retracing the route from Sandra's statement. And we find out that one of the streets is closed due to a truck accident that happened the night before. It's been closed since 9 p.m. till they're still working on it. So we go back to the courtroom where Sandra's doing the cross-examination of that rape victim. And we've already talked about how heinous she was and the way she acted. And Michelle's watching from the gallery. Sandra, when they're finished, offers some help to her. And then Michelle and Sandra, they're in her office and they're complimenting each other. And then as she's leaving, Michelle mentions something about Hoover Street, and the cat and mouse game has begun.
I don't buy the fact that these two were ever friends.
You know what? That's actually not a bad observation.
No, they were not friends. They are nothing alike.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know the inner working of female circles back in the late 80s, early 90s, because obviously I wasn't one. But I can't imagine somebody being that, like, just, and then somebody being so nice and wholesome, like being friends.
Yeah, because you would want to know what do they have in common besides law. I
mean, unless she changed drastically.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's a good point. I never thought about it that way, that these two are kind of polar opposites. Okay, well, at this point, I have to just confess, I knew that Michelle was on to her. Right here, right when they mentioned Hoover Street, and there was that little hesitation.
Yeah.
I'm like, she knows. She
Speaking
gonna
of
crack
Columbo,
down.
Very Columbo thing.
Yeah. So we go back to the bar where Michelle's there to talk to Michael. And Michael reveals where Sandra lived, or where the woman lived. He didn't even know it was Sandra. So we see Michelle and Tyler at a very crappy apartment, and the front desk IDs her, and Tyler and Michelle search through the apartment, and Michelle searches through the closet to find a very expensive woman's suit and trashy lingerie. Lots of trashy lingerie. In fact, I believe the concern of this one viewer is the sexual content, and that I believe the lingerie might constitute sexual content. I'm not sure. Yeah. Anywho, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, see our previous episode. That's all I'll say. All right. Again, at Sandra's office, she's doing some type of like dictation. Her secretary is dictating a letter. Michelle shows up, reveals that Rick had a girlfriend, and that they were arguing the night of the murder. Michelle asked Sandra if she saw a woman, and she goes, "No, I never saw a woman when I witnessed the crime, when I witnessed the murder." And then she reveals the sketch, and she unfolds it, and she puts it down. She goes, "Look at this. This is what the sketch artist come up with." And I do like that Sandra gave shade to herself and said, "She looks like a hooker." Nothing.
Oh, yeah, she's trying to, say it's not her, and that's kind of the look she was going for. I mean, she admits that later in the episode.
Yeah, I know. She's like, "No, look at me. I'm a classy lawyer. Fancy office." Michelle reveals her discovery about the very expensive woman's suit in the cabinet, and as I wrote down, more cat and mouse games. So Michelle's back at the bar. She shows an actual photo of Sandra to Michael. They compare it with the sketch, excuse me. And Michelle reveals that Michael should not be involved with this bar business because he's an ex-con that is not allowed to sell booze and not allowed to have a handgun, of which he apparently has.
One of each?
What? Strike two. One,
Twofer.
Strike two. So Sandra, we go to Sandra's apartment, and she's destroying. And I didn't understand. She's destroying the clothes and lingerie. And the thing that popped in my head is, honey, that's a lot of expense that you're just throwing away. You're cutting up good lingerie that you could probably take to Goodwill.
I mean, Goodwill was around, was it?
Yeah, of course there were secondhand shops. Of course. I mean, I'm pretty sure. You know what, folks? If I'm totally wrong, let me know. Drop some comments in the chat. Or Jason, where can they email us?
benmattalk@gmail.com.
And you can also find us obviously through Facebook on this Facebook page, as well as you can find us on Twitter or X or whatever the name is now. And that is at Mattalk_podcast. But let us know. Is there such a thing in 1990 as Goodwill? I say there is. Is it appropriate to return lingerie to Goodwill? That's the better question.
I wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think
that? I think it's weird to buy secondhand
undergarments. There are secondhand stores that sell undergarments.
I know. I would never buy any. Is all I'm saying.
So I gotta think lingerie is no different than regular underwear.
Still not buying it. No, it's gross, man.
I'm digging in, John. I'm digging in. Not buying it.
I'm glad you would, John.
No, whoa. I did not say that at all. I'm with you on that. That's great. Listen, I don't know if I would buy like a recliner from a Goodwill store, given like all the increase in bed bugs and everything. I don't know. I think I'm just buying all my factory stuff straight off the floor, straight off the manufacturer's floor. But I digress. So that's some expensive lingerie she's tearing up. But Michael calls Sandra and reveals that Michelle has been snooping. And Michael wants 20 grand, I think, or 25 grand. He wants a lot of money. We'll just split hair. We won't split hairs and just call it down the middle. He wants a lot of money for those pics. And, actually, I have it written down here, $20K. $20K. All you got to do is meet at the bar for a swap. And so, indeed, Sandra shows up. And guess what? Michelle's there. Michelle says, gotcha. And then they go through this kind of very stoic, I guess is the best adjective, back and forth between, yeah, well, you've had it all, Michelle, looks and grace. You came from a great family. And I love the thrill of being a hooker. I love it.
You'll never prove it. This is also, this is also another thing that happens in Colombo where the person will be like, you can't prove it to me. You can't prove it to me. There's no evidence that I'm the guy.
Oh, that's okay. We'll get to it here in a few moments. Anyways, so I will say this. This was some really good acting. I felt like Nancy Stafford was bringing it as Michelle Thomas looked genuinely hurt by the betrayal of her friend. So the next scene, as you alluded to, Sandra drops off the fur coat at the fur coat cleaners, and Tyler's watching all along. And so I wrote down the fur coat guy's real misogynist, isn't he? You ladies, you can't take you anywhere. You end up with stuff all over your furs and all over your suits. Women can't do anything right. I bet he's one of those guys that does all that, but then when he goes home, it's yes, dear, no, dear. I bet. What do you think?
Probably. We're all like that. The second part. We're all like the second part.
Not the first part, folks. So we go to the courtroom. Now, here's where I have a question. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. Isn't this a conflict of interest that you're a person you're prosecuting on a personal level? Wouldn't that disqualify Michelle from being involved in this case?
She's just a witness, though. She's not prosecuting her. She's just a witness at this moment.
But good point. But I still think that this is, I don't know.
I'm sure there's some conflict there, but it's, a TV show.
Okay. Sandra's on the stand. She's getting cross-examined. I like the quip, I know how to read a map. I thought that was funny. The DA objects. By the way, do you think it's the same DA from earlier? Do you think he still has the hots for her?
Maybe.
Oh, you know what I like when my women? When they're accused of murdering somebody else. That gets my engine going. That's what that dude probably thinks. At least in my mind, that's what he thinks. Anyways. Very good battle between Michelle and Sandra. The theory that Michelle pitches is exactly what happened. You lured Rick back to the bar. You shot him. You put the gun in Jimmy's hands. You took the car, called from the car, and then you went and took care of the fur coat. By the way, it's mentioned that it was 47 degrees. And that's why she was wearing the coat. Look, I know all the Southerners out there, when it gets a little bit cool, like 50 or 55 degrees, you all get, spastic over, oh my God, it's so cold. But is it really that? Does it necessitate having a fur coat? Is all I'm asking. No dice.
No, I don't like big coats. I've worn hoodies for like the last 6 years. I've never bought a warm jacket. I mean, I have one warm coat, but I don't wear it very often because I don't like them being big and bulky.
You don't have a parka?
No.
Oh, I have a big parka that I wear when it's really cold out.
I buy a new zip-up hoodie every year. I haven't bought one yet this year. I've been reusing my blue one from last year.
Okay. All right. Whatever, man. Whatever makes you happy.
$8 at Walmart. Inflation has not touched my hoodies. There you go, everybody. Inflation has not hit Walmart's hoodies.
Jason's hoping that for Black Friday sales, there'll be more hoodies at Walmart.
Half off hoodies. I'll buy more than one. Well, you'll get 2 from me this year.
Anyways, so a cop will testify that he saw Sandra arrive at police headquarters, take off her fur coat and put it in the trunk. And what do you know, Jason? They switched the coats.
Now, I don't know if they would let Michelle manhandle this big coat in the court.
Well, I also wrote down, is this legal to do? To just literally take the coat from the cleaner and swap it out with another? Is that legal? Because I don't think that. I think that's kind of like planting evidence.
I don't know about planting evidence, but I don't know about it being legal either. And Michelle should be wearing gloves. It probably should be in a bag. I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with this scene.
Yeah.
Beyond the legalities of taking it from the cleaners, because I mean, Michelle could get blamed for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And there's no chain of command, so to speak, or chain of custody. I'm sorry. That's what it is in the.
Now, if a cop
sense.
had brought it in, maybe. But in that case, couldn't you have just taken the coat to the police department and said, "This belongs to the real killer. Analyze it for blood."
Well, again, remember, we're a little bit before DNA comes around. All right, the charges on Jimmy Newton have been dismissed. And lo and behold, guess who was sitting in the back of the courtroom?
Matlock.
Matlock. That's right. He gives a nod of approval to his student, so to speak, Michelle. And that's the end of The Witness. Jason, I think we need to review the last episode when we did Matlock reviews. Because this episode was indeed commented upon. Shall I reread it and then let you respond to it?
Sure.
This is a 1-star review of Matlock and specifically this episode. Show was terrible. Season 4, episode 14 was implausible, illogical, made no sense. Overly simplistic resolution, no tension. Villain totally gave herself away. Matlock's assistants made conclusions in court that never would have been admissible. Bad acting by all the characters. Just plain dumb show. How did it stay on the air for 9 years?
One, the acting was fine. We just said it was implausible. But the review's not wrong. But it does not at all reflect how I feel about this episode. So, John.
Okay. How many gavels? Well, let's tell the folks what we're doing here with these gavels in case they're new to watching or viewing. We're going to rate this episode on a gavel system. 5 gavels means it was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. You're doing it wrong. This is the part of the podcast where John and I rate the show on a gavel system. 1 gavel meaning we absolutely hated it. 5 gavels means it's absolutely amazing. John, what do you rate this show on a gavel system?
So Jason now has to be the Micro Machines guy for every episode, but that's all right. You do a bang up job with it, sir. Oh, how many gavels am I giving it? I'm giving it 4. I thought that the acting was actually really good. I don't know what this jabroni's talking about in the review that I got from Amazon. I thought it was a pretty good story, minus Ben. The motive was okay. I mean, by today's standards, I guess maybe it wouldn't be so scandalous that you had nude photos. But I think back in early 90s, that would have been a big deal. And that would be enough to kill somebody over. The negatives.
What are you telling me?
What do you mean?
You saying you killed somebody in the 80s if somebody had nude photos of you?
No, I did not make that declaration.
I kind of inferred it.
No. Anyways, the negatives, the questionable legal tactics, and the fact that it was a tad bit predictable, as I mentioned. Halfway through the episode, I knew that Michelle was on to her. So, Jason, what say you?
The show is very predictable. John's being nice. I like the elements, that the season 4 has given us. This felt more like a season 1 or 2 episode because of so many leaps that they made throughout especially at the end. Like there's a lot of things wrong with the ending. So for me, and I know that sounds like I'm going to give it a negative review, but I'm not. I'm going to give it a 3.5 because I still enjoyed the episode. I had fun watching it. It's not up to the standards that season 4 has been thus far. And I'm hoping the next episode gets us back on track.
Yeah.
And I am ready to roll. But Nancy Stafford, she deserves a spinoff. They should be making a spinoff around her instead of this fake Matlock reboot that everybody's all up in arms about. Because it's not a reboot of Matlock, folks. Read the description.
Boy, you are the one today with all the hot takes. Not me. You. Man.
Hot takes.
Hot takes. All right, Jason, let's talk about some other podcasting projects. What's going on with the Three Geeks podcast?
We are live every Saturday at 7 p.m. This weekend on the 14th, we have Gunnar Quaylen and Jenna St. Clair. If you don't know who they are, I'm not going to get into it too much here. I'm going to say that it's going to be more of an adult-themed episode of our show. We're going to be playing a version of Justin's game where we're going to be guessing reviews to products based around what the Petersons do for a living. And it is going to be a blast. Hopefully YouTube doesn't kick us off.
I was going to say batten down the hatches. The Jenna and GQ or Gunnar and Jenna are coming to town. It's like a hurricane.
We
like
love
two hurricanes. And we do. They're awesome. I love them too. Anything else with the Three Geeks podcast?
Oh no, we're just posting content all the time, every day.
All right, cool. Well, the PVD cast is my own personal podcasting project, and it's almost hockey season, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, tomorrow the NHL season starts. I'm a huge hockey fan, obviously from the hat, and sit down with my hockey guru, my hockey enthusiast extraordinaire, Luke Landry, all the way from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He joins me to preview this year's season. You know, we'll talk about teams that we think are going to be good, teams that are going to be lousy, who might get traded, who's got all the pressure on them to win the Stanley Cup, et cetera, et cetera. You can find it at pvdcast.com or wherever you find great podcasts. And Jason, should we also let them know about the Patreon project we have going on?
Yeah, John, let's go.
All right. We have a cool project that is called the Larry Hankin Stories. It's a Patreon that Jason, myself, and our partner Justin have put together, showing a lot of cool stories, I should say, sharing a lot of cool stories. It's getting up there. I'm almost ready to go to bed, folks. Sorry. I can talk, I swear. Anyways, it's a cool project where we share a lot of cool content with Larry Hankin, a character actor extraordinaire who's been on Friends. He was in Breaking Bad, Home Alone, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Three Geeks podcast. But anyways, check it out. We have some free samples over at the Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/Larry Hankin and check it out. All right. You know what, folks? We need you to let us know if you enjoyed this. All right. I'm serious. If this is not your cup of tea, if you didn't like what we did here this evening by going live, let us know. We're not going to do it every time. All right. We're going to do it periodically. We're not going to go live every time, but we thought that this could help, as the old saying goes, kill two birds with one stone. The audio version of this will be out probably midweek. Since we're recording this late on Monday, it'll probably be up sometime Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that. Let everybody know how much you enjoyed Mattalk. Spread the word, if you will. Let's build up that fan base again. And Jason, with that, I ain't got nothing else, man. What do you got?
I've got nothing, everybody. Stay safe, love each other, and we will talk to you very, very soon. Good night.